So I heard something a few days ago that kind of piqued my interest and started thinking about it and kind of auditing myself to see if I have this mentality. And I'm going to talk about three value producing mentalities. But this first thing is kind of what spawned this show, this episode, and that is, are you acting as if the world is your ally? So in other words, is the world working for you and with you? And do you have that mentality? Are you thinking that way? And I tried to put myself in that situation of, do I think like that? When have I thought like that? When have I not thought like that? And I would definitely say, as being younger, when I was younger, I did not have that mentality. Looking back through school, sports, just things growing up, I didn't have that mentality. I would say there were probably some key moments in my outside sales career where, looking back, things happened and it seemed like, okay, the world's working for me here. I don't understand why, but it is. So let's build on this. And I can remember a couple of those, just landing a couple big contracts, probably helped build confidence in that area. But since then, without a doubt, and without even knowing it, I've had that thought process of the world is my ally. The world is working with me. And I think too, and I'm going to go into a couple other things too, but I think the more value that you're giving back, the more you can have that mentality as the world is your ally. Because you realize that there are other people that are giving back because you're giving back, right? It just, I don't know. I think those things tie together. So, are you mentally thinking that the world is your ally? Are people here for you? People here to not necessarily serve you, but to at least help you. I think that's a absolutely value producing mentality. It's not a victim mentality, right? Victim mentality gets you nowhere. It gets you somewhere. It doesn't get you where you want to go. And that's probably a victim mentality it's probably a newer thing, right? Past, I don't know, 5-10 years. I don't know if I heard of it as much before then. I'm sure it was around, but it's definitely become more relevant. For whatever reason, it's probably more political than anything, unfortunately. But you can't have a victim mentality, right? The world's not against you. There's no one against you. There's no one out to get you. If anything, people are here to help you and serve you. And even if you have run into, some situations where people have beating you down or taking you down or whatever, it's one person. Maybe that's two people. Maybe that's 5 people. There's so many people in the world that want to help you out. You just got to find those people. The other thing is, and it's tied into this, is pulling people up, right? So giving back. I've heard the phrase of, and I've been quoting Dan Martell a lot lately, but he's been just dropping some gems, but he calls it sending the elevator back down, right? So once you've been successful in whatever you're doing, and this doesn't have to be self-storage, real estate investing, entrepreneur, whatever it is. Maybe you're in outside sales, maybe you're a doctor, a lawyer, whatever, and you're successful in something. Send the elevator back down, right? Help other people come up to your level, or at least higher than where they're at. I think the more you help, the more you give back, the more good things come to you. And that's not a reason to do those things, but it is a byproduct of those things. And it's a muscle too, right? You've got to work at it. Start small. I know, just, keep it simple. As far as donating money, I remember starting with, I want to say it was like $10 or $50 a month that we started to just donate. Now that number's climbed significantly, and I want to continue to increase that number. But it is a muscle, and you've got to work at it. And obviously, money's not the only thing you can give back to help people out. But this podcast is a prime example. So it's the main, and I'm kind of stumbling over words, but it is the main reason why I do this podcast, is to help other people out, kind of give information that we don't necessarily learn and we have to kind of go find on our own. So that's why I do this podcast. I'm trying to send the elevator back down. There's definitely been things that I've learned from other people over the years that I want to spread. And I think that is one of the most powerful things we can do as people is to, I guess, send out good information, valuable information, right? Spread good information, help others. And then the other third thing that is a value producing mentality. We could probably find a bunch, but wanted to keep it simple and do three of them that were kind of on top of my mind today. And the third one is there's really no losses, right? You're never losing, and you got to have that mentality of this isn't a true loss, right? It's a lesson. And I don't know, and it's funny because I hear a lot of investors and entrepreneurs talking about how you need to become bankrupt before you become successful, or you need to do bad deals before you can really do good deals. I don't subscribe to that. I don't like that. And I don't know if I've ever heard anybody really say that. A lot of people that I have heard talk about, you need to go through some failures, which you do, but they don't have to be big failures. They could be small ones. And again, they're not failures, they're lessons. And you got to see them that way, as lessons. They're not losses. They're not failures. They're lessons. I relate a lot of things back to sports, and it's no different than playing a basketball game, right? Last night I played basketball. I think we played 5 games. I think we were 4 for 5 and lost 1 game. After the 1 game, I'm like, all right, what did we do wrong? How did we lose that game? And how can we do better the next game? And a couple things clicked. Made adjustments on my end, and we ended up winning the next 2 games. So as simple as that is, that's with life too. No matter what it is, you've got to learn from mistakes, learn from losses. If you're not, then yeah, it is a true loss. If you're not sitting back and auditing what happened, then it is a true loss. And it's okay to, if something happens, it's okay to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, feel it, be emotional about it. Don't take it out on others, but be emotional about it, and then work your way out of it, right? And the way I do that is I always think about, is this something I'm going to remember a week from now? A lot of times, it's not going to be something I even think about a week from now. But there are some things that are like, yeah, this is kind of a big deal. Well, I think about a month from now. And then obviously that filters even less of issues that get through. And then I think about, I think about this a year from now. Will this be a big deal a year from now? Most things are not, right? Unless it's health related. Most things are not an issue a year from now. And that's how I kind of get over so-called losses, but again, call them lessons. And you got to have that mentality. And then, one last point is learn from it, which we've talked about, but create systems so that that doesn't happen again. Or if that failure or something pops up again, that now you've got systems in place and it's okay. You know what steps to take to get to kind of turn it around. Right. So those are 3, in my opinion, top 3 value producing mentalities. Act as if the world is your ally, which is so strong. I don't think a lot of people think that way, unfortunately. And it kind of goes back to, in a way, create your own luck, right? We're all creating our own luck or bad luck. And if you've got a victim mentality, you're creating bad luck for yourself. If you've got a mentality where the world is your ally and everyone's working for you and with you, you're going to win, right? It's just going to happen. Pull others up, right? Give back, send the elevator back down, help people out. And then there are no losses. There's only lessons. Again, these are 3 value producing mentalities that I know have helped me. And it's definitely easier to look back on things and when things change and how things have changed your life. But if you're able to do these 3 things, and if you're already doing these 3 things, obviously you can probably already say things are going pretty well, right? One way or another. But yeah, that's all I got for the show. Appreciate you guys listening. When this airs, we'll be coming up on Christmas, I believe. And just again, want to thank everyone for listening, paying attention, sharing, coming on the show. Definitely want your feedback. We've got some changes coming up, some good changes, and hopefully that first of the year we'll have those in place. But excited to see what's next. And again, appreciate you guys listening. See you next time.
Thanks for following, subscribing, and listening to this episode of the Do More podcast hosted by John Farling. To learn more or ask questions, go to l4investing.com.